What is happening, guys? Good morning and welcome back to another video. It is another glorious morning in the E36 M3. I really just love waking up and driving this car. Something about it, early mornings, it just feels right. I'm gonna go grab some coffee real quick and head back to the house because we got a video to make. You guys, we have a video to make. Some of you are gonna be very confused by this. You're gonna be, John, you already did a steering wheel. Why are you doing another steering wheel? Pardon me for a moment. That's like my favorite stretch of road. And I hit it every morning before I get my coffee. Just love it. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, any chance that I get to team up with Ozza Auto Wheel, I do it because I love the work they do. They've done, what, 3 wheels for me now? And dude, just wait till you see this one. So this wheel is really cool. Love it. I'm gonna probably run it at the track, to be honest with you. But it's a lot smaller, which means you feel everything. It's a lot harder to turn the wheel. It's a very stiff wheel. It's very unforgiving, which I think, in my opinion, for like track and everything is gonna be probably perfect. I also like the fact that it's quick release. I think all of those things are great for like racing setups and like track setups. But I do kind of see this build having like 2 personalities. One is very OEM, clean, period specific. And when I first announced that I was going to be building this car, Ozza Auto Wheel reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to do a wheel? I'm like, absolutely. Not even a question. If you guys have seen the past 2 wheels that they've done for me, they did one on my E90 M3 that was unreal. Probably like my favorite steering wheel that I've ever owned. It was so clean and so good. And they also did one on the Supra, and as you guys know, on the Supra, one of the biggest weak points is the steering wheel. That made a huge difference. So when they reached out to me and asked if I wanted to do a wheel, I knew I wanted to do something a little bit different than this, a little bit different than like a race setup, something a little more like OE style, and I think we nailed it. Just wait till you guys see this. But real quick, if you guys don't know anything about Ozza Auto Wheel, they do all types of custom steering wheels, and they are absolutely phenomenal. The details, the customizable features, just the overall quality is like next level. These are custom handmade. These are not the ones that you guys see on like the Supras and BMWs that come from China that just look ridiculous. These ones are incredible and they're 100% worth the money. I'm gonna grab my coffee, we're gonna head back to the house, I'm gonna show you the wheel, and we're gonna install it. That early morning drive with the E36 M3 that I just cherish it. I really love having both the Supra and the M3, man. It's like the perfect balance of cars. You got one that's like crazy fast, turbocharged, and then you have one that is just NA, manual, handles really good. It's like the perfect mix of cars. It's like, you're not really going anywhere fast, but it's just so fun. It's just so fun. And it's not only because of the manual. It's kind of like the whole experience of it. You got like the cage in the back, the Sparco seats, the manual transmission, the NA sound. It's just this like amazing package. Such a great car. All right, man, y'all ready for this? First of all, check out how beautiful this steering wheel cover is. This is how it came. Very impressive. Presentation on point. Go ahead and loosen this here and check this out. All right, check it out, you guys. So this is, like I said, very OE plus, period specific. It's got the flat bottom. It's got all Alcantara. The entire wheel is Alcantara. Got my M badge down here. It's got my BMW logo here. This is a complete wheel. Clock spring, literally everything. So this shows up, I can put this directly into the car. I don't have to mess with anything. It's gonna be like the easiest install ever. Literally just get to swap my wheel out for this wheel. Dude, I absolutely love it. It's a little bit thicker than the factory one. And the size of it is really going to make a big difference when I'm just driving this car like around town at a car shows or whatever. With that tiny little steering wheel, you feel everything. This is going to alleviate and absorb some of those vibrations that you feel on the road just because it's a little bit bigger, it's a little bit softer. So this will be like my nice steering wheel. This will be the wheel that, like I said, I don't really take this to the track, but I use this when I'm around here or I'm going to the store, or I'm just taking the car out to like the car shows or hanging with buddies. I'd say 80-90% of the time I'll probably rock this wheel. Obviously the quality of this wheel is a lot higher than the Sparco wheel. The Sparco wheel is a cheap wheel. It's like a $150 wheel. This is a fully customized wheel, tailored to me and how I wanted this to look. And I just really love how it's so period specific to the car. Like, we didn't do anything too crazy. It doesn't have a bunch of carbon on it. You know, it works with the car. But yeah, dude, I think it's gonna look so good in here. I'm so excited. All right, so we're gonna pop off the old one. If you guys obviously have your factory wheel still on, it's gonna be a little bit different of a situation for you, but for me, it's gonna be pretty simple. I'm just gonna pop off these Allens here and then pull out the actual, I think it's a 16 mil that holds the actual steering wheel on. Take all that off, and then I can go ahead and throw this guy on. I'm not gonna lie. That is nice. All right, you guys ready for it? Let's check it out.
Holy fucking shit!
These kids are freaking out. E30, baby. It's an E36, bro, not an E30.
Yeah. Dude, that is sick. E36 what?
Is it E36 M3?
That's my favorite car.
Is it really?
Swear to God.
You want me to pull it out so you can see it?
Yeah.
All right.
It's awesome.
You like it?
Yeah.
I just put a new steering wheel on. Do you like the steering wheel?
Dude, that's sick.
You want to sit in it?
You swear?
Yeah, man, go for it.
I'm a little short for it.
It's small for me.
Yeah, it's sick. Thank you, man.
Yeah, man, anytime. That's the youth of our community, folks. Got to be good to them. They look up to us. So, the kid approved. Let's go for a little drive and see how this thing is. All right. About to go for a drive. Dude, this thing feels... Horn works. This thing feels really, really nice. Like, really nice. The Sparco one's cool. I like the Sparco one. But this just feels better for, like, daily driving. Like, if I were about to drive this car for, like, 3 hours to the mountains, I wouldn't want to rock that Sparco one. It's, you just feel every single thing from the road in that thing because it's so small. But this one it just feels more OEM, you know? And the MTech 2 is just like a beautiful piece that is from the E36 era. So it just fits this car and the vibe so well. So first time driving with it. Also really cool that those kids, man, I love that. I love that when kids come up and they're just really into like an old car. I don't know, man. Like, you could just see, oh, this feels nice. You could just see, like, with the way that he responded to the car, like, that made his day, you know? And, like, he just sat in it, that's it. But it literally made that kid's day. And if we ever have the opportunity to do that for someone like that, like a younger enthusiast, dude, do it. Like, that's just such a big deal to them that, yeah. So, really happy that they came up and I was able to do that for him and just make his day and put a smile on his face, man, because that's like the future of our community. Like, that's the future enthusiast of our community. So important. Okay, right off the bat, love it. Turning is so much easier with this wheel, dude. Like, that's another thing about that little wheel. It's like really tough to turn the wheel. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, this is really nice. Oh, dude. Yeah, bro. This car and this wheel is it's spot on. So there's definitely going to be people that prefer a Sparco. over this one. I think it really just comes down to kind of driver are you, kind of build do you want to build, you know? But having both is really like, that's the best. This is freaking nice, dude. I would much rather daily drive this car, or just like drive this car around town with this wheel. This is much better. And the design looks so good. Like, dude, it's so clean. Flat bottom, Alcantara. So I read a lot of comments online about people with Alcantara and like they're afraid to run it because of dirt and stuff like that. They will get dirty if you just inherently have like dirty hands all the time. Yeah, I mean your Alcantara is going to get dirty, but then again, so would your leather steering wheel. You know what I mean? You just have to take care of it, wash your hands, clean it every now and then. When I had my M Performance wheel in the M2, that was obviously Alcantara all the way around. I would clean it like once a month with some Sonax and just scrub it in and then wipe it off, and it was perfect. I mean, it never looked bad, it never frayed, it never like came apart. Yeah, so just, I guess, basic common sense, right? Dude, this is great. Man, this car is so close to being really, really good. Like, it's come a long way in the past month that I've had it on my hands, but we just need to get these bushings taken care of. We just need to get the steering rack in, and this car is gonna be, it's gonna be next level. At that point, I think that we're ready to track it. Dude, I just love driving this car, man. Like, oh, it's so good. Every time I get in this car and I drive it, I'm like all smiles. It's so good. The M-Tech 2 steering wheel actually doesn't have an airbag, kind of like the Sparco one. Like, you just basically get rid of that airbag. So that is something to note, but obviously, you know, with the way that this car is, the clock spring works. Okay, cool. So that's good. As soon as I have the turn signal on and then come back around, it ends up turning off, which is good because that's what we want to get set up. We got this guy back here. He's probably like, what is this guy doing? Cop broke his neck. Didn't pull me over, but he broke his neck. So that's how you know you're doing it right. So yeah, man, this worked out really good. Like, it's obviously a super easy install. Like, literally just one bolt, pop it off. If you have to take off the other one, the factory one, it's two T25s. I believe they're either T25s or T30s from the back. You just pop those off and then pull off the airbag. Super simple. But obviously, since I didn't have the airbag, it was like really easy. This just pops right off, and you just throw on that main bolt, and you're good to go. But I think that, like, from a driving perspective, dude, this is the way to go. If you're doing just like daily driving, obviously you could track with this wheel too, but in my opinion, like, this was a really nice wheel. Like, I really, really like this wheel. I wouldn't want to, because there's a lot of hard gripping on the track, ripping the steering wheel around. I personally wouldn't want to track with this wheel. I like the fact that I have the Sparco that I can track with. It's quick release, kind of beat it up a little bit. You know, that's like $150 steering wheel. Like, whereas this one probably costs a bit more. But the nice part is, you know, you can outfit these steering wheels through AZA Auto Wheel any way you want. If you guys want Alcantara, do it. If you want leather, do it. If you want stitching, the colored stitching, you can do it. If you want a center stripe, you can do it. Carbon fiber, you can do it. Obviously, for this application, like, I wouldn't put carbon fiber on here. It would be a little bit weird. But I do like having this wheel as like the daily driving wheel because I can retain my clock spring. You guys remember I had that weird clock spring issue not fitting with the E36 hub adapter for the Sparco wheel. Whatever that is, there is a workaround. You got to put on like a 328 or 325 clock spring in order to make it adapt to the Sparco wheel on the M3. So you can make that work, but it's just nice to be able to have all the functions with this wheel, you know what I mean? Like a little more of like an OEM setup, but it's good, man. It's not completely OEM, you know, it's a little bit thicker. It's got the Alcantara, it's got the M stitching, it's got the M badge, it's got the flat bottom. Like, these are all things that I really wanted. on the wheel. And when I was talking to Ozza Auto Wheel, they had some suggestions. And then from there, we just kind of decided what we were gonna do. You know, originally I was gonna put a stripe on it, but I'm not a big fan of the stripes, man. I don't know, they just look kind of weird to me. So I decided to opt out for that. I stuck with the M colored stitching, and then obviously all the Alcantara and the flat bottom, and a little bit thicker. It just all around like feels like a much better wheel. So if you guys are looking for a custom wheel for like any of your cars, I'll leave their information down below. Fantastic company. I have a reputation with them for quite a while now. I've been working with them for a long time. They're just, dude, they're just the best in the game when it comes to custom wheels. This car is just everything, bro. I'm telling you guys, like, I try to drive this car as much as I possibly can because I just love it. Like, oh, there's just something about it, man. Like, they just made cars totally differently in the 90s. And like, this was, dude, when this car came out, could you imagine, like, this was the top of the class, dude. Like, you had an E36 M3, like, this was the sports car to have in the 90s. It's just cool to be able to see how far along it's come and like how it's changed so much. Like having the Supra and having this, it's just, it's literally the best of both worlds. Like it's complete opposites. Nothing is the same. And the crowds that appreciate them are totally different. Like you saw with those kids that stopped by that were just like going nuts over this car. And I've noticed that younger kids love these older cars. I don't know what it is. Like, it's just a different day and age, man. But it's cool to see that people have a lot of love and appreciation for like the classics, you know? Like take TikTok, for example. I post TikToks of my Supra and, you know, people don't really care about that. Like they see it around all the time online. But if I post the E36 on a TikTok, they f***ing love it. They eat this car up. And I also think it's the fact that like we got this car, you know, for $5,000. It was in really bad shape, and like the makeover, the transformation over the past month or 2 months has been very dramatic. This has been one of the most fulfilling projects I've ever done, and it really taught me a lesson that, you know, just because you can go out there and buy a new car and work on it doesn't always mean it's going to be the most gratifying thing. Sometimes getting your hands dirty and finding a real project that you need to work on from scratch and rebuild, there's something a little bit more fulfilling about that. You got more skin in the game, you know? So don't be surprised if you see more of these type of builds on this channel, because there's just a certain sweat equity that you put into these cars, and it just feels amazing to see your work finally like coming to life, you know? I'm gonna have to pull that bulb on the airbag light. I am obsessed with it. Looks so good in this car. Ozza Auto Wheel, you did it again. All right, so that is the Ozza Auto Wheel for the E36 M3. Hope you guys like it as much as I do. If you guys are interested in buying a Ozza Auto Wheel or customizing one for your Supra, your BMW, I'll have a link down below. Go ahead and hit that, you can hit them up. Fully customized, whatever you wanna do with it. Carbon fiber, Alcantara, leather, flat bottom, round bottom, thicker. But just like that, we'll go ahead and wrap this one up. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.